Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Quivz does stuff. Quivz here. So, the new Terraria update came out, Journey's End. I'm a few days late because, well, I haven't actually uploaded anything to the channel in a while either. I have been spending a lot of time in virtual reality, so that has, I don't know, rather engrossed me. No capture yet, because most of the stuff I've been playing has been on the Oculus Quest as opposed to Oculus Rift, which is via an Oculus Link cable. Not the official one, but I found a good link cable. I have been playing some Half-Life Alyx. I could have done some capture with that, but, you know, everybody and their dog did that when that released. Maybe we'll do some in the future, I don't know. I am not very good at it. I mean, I'm good at it. I'm fine at the actual game, but in VR, it's a really terrifying experience, and I'm not good with scary stuff. So yeah, Half-Life Alyx, great game, but I am struggling because I am freaking out every time I have to go around a corner, or, you know, every time one of the zombies starts shambling towards me, I freak out and fire like 5 bullets into the ceiling. Anyway, back to Terraria. So a new release. So I had to decide whether to continue our old game under the new update or whether to start again, and it really felt appropriate to start again. So I'm afraid that will be the end of our previous Let's Play series, which we didn't get very far into. Now, I did actually want to record this as 100% fresh. Like, I'd never seen it before. I haven't seen anything on the internet about it. I've done nothing except read some of the patch notes. But I had a friend today who, just as I was about to get started recording, messaged me and was like, "Oh, do you want to play multiplayer? Do you want to play multiplayer?" And I haven't seen him in a while. He lives pretty far away from me, and we used to be really good mates. So I have played this a little bit in multiplayer with him, but I'm going to be starting a new character and a new world for the purposes of these Let's Plays. So let's get into it. We'll have a look at some of the new things as well. Don't really know what there is. So that was my multiplayer character, but we'll start our new character. Good old Quivz. Now, this is the first thing that's new. So there's Journey, which to me is kind of like a cross between the classic mode and a creative mode from what I can tell. You can adjust pretty much most of the settings of the game on the fly. So difficulty, you can change spawn rates, you can change the weather. You have to collect blocks and things like weapons and stuff once legitimately, but then once you've done it once legitimately, you can research it and then infinitely spawn as many of them as you want. So it's a bit too creative. There's no, it doesn't seem like there'll be enough challenge. I haven't actually tried it. I might try it at some point, and maybe if I think it's good, I'll do a video or two on it, but I won't do a comprehensive Let's Play on it. So we're going to go for Classic. So there's, again, basic equipment starting, well, clothing starts that you can choose. Let's go for the dude in the robe. I like the dude in the robe. So this has all changed as well. So rather than just choosing things by numbers, now there's actually visual representations of things. Again, ton of hairstyles. There always was. Let's do something that actually looks a bit like me. That one. We'll definitely have to change that hair color then to black. Eye color doesn't really matter, but hey, brown is what I've got. And I am a tiny bit ruddier than that. Colors, I don't really care about colors, but let's make it purple because I like purple. Alright, that will pretty much do. Could change the shirt color as well, could change the pants color as well, and could change shoe colors as well, but I'm not going to worry about any of that. Alright, so that is new character creation. Simple enough. Same as before, you can choose any character, you can upload them to the cloud, you can favorite them, etc, etc. So that was the multiplayer. So we'll make a new multiplayer world. Classic is selected. We'll go with large because we had problems last time. So this is new. Random world naming. Some of them are pretty good. Kooky border, searing foothold of glass. The wet mire of the stooge. So yeah, they're quite good. But we will change that to Let's Play because it is our Let's Play world. Seed, randomize the seed. That's another good edition, because you can put in a specific seed, and if, say, for example, you've played on a world and you're like, oh, that was a really good world, I want to tell people about it, you can upload the seed and everyone else can play it, and they will get the exact same spawn world generation. Crimson or Corruption, we will... It's very tempting to choose Corruption here because both our last worlds in our Let's Play series were in the Crimson. But since this will be a whole new series, I suppose it doesn't matter which one it is. So we'll leave that as random and let's create. So another thing I noticed is that the generation is faster than it used to be. It's still not like ridiculously fast, but it is faster than it used to be. I am playing here on a PCIe Gen 4 SSD, a Corsair MP600, so it is very fast in the first place. I don't know whether that would make any difference to this. It's normally just loading times, but this is a kind of loading. It's essentially... It's doing things that are computationally heavy. It's, you know, the graphics card isn't doing anything in this. I'm pretty sure Terraria doesn't use your graphics card much. I assume it would use your graphics RAM, and there is some graphics usage for things like the parallax. That's the backgrounds, the way the background that's closer to you moves at a faster rate than the background that's further from you. But yeah, so this is all going to be on your CPU, and I'm running a AMD Ryzen 7 3700X. Yeah, so, you know, pretty reasonable CPU and so on and so forth. There are better ones. 3950 would be the top one in the Ryzen. 9900K for Intel is probably where you'd want to be if you want top CPU in current gen, although the next gen of Intel CPUs are probably just around the corner. I don't know. Actually, I think they've already been announced. I don't know whether they've been officially released. But anyway, that's all beside the point. Our world is made, our character is made, let's get into it. So yeah, that there was really fast loading times. Alright, so same as the previous Let's Play, one of the things I like to do is remember exactly where we started. Now we started on this little bit of hill, and I don't want to have to build that up, so I'm going to knock this down. Oops. Put that back for now. Not that it matters, but for now. Alright, so this will be our house. Alright, that's begun. So one of the other new additions that they made, quality of life improvements, is block replacement. So long as you have a pickaxe that is capable of breaking the block that you want to replace, you can select the new block that you'd like to place there and simply place it down, and it will immediately overwrite that block, so you don't have to first break the previous block and then overwrite and then place a new block. You can just place the new block and it'll overwrite the old block. It will, however, do so at the rate of the tool that you use to replace. So for example, wood, let me just replace one of these blocks with some dirt and I'll show you what I mean. See, it has to actually break that wood block at the speed of my wooden axe, copper axe. Now, what are the other improvements? Normally I would start and immediately swap out this copper sword, but they've changed the way short swords work. See, now they can actually attack with directionality, which is really nice. There's some ore down there. I'm definitely going to have to go and get that in a minute. So the copper short sword is not as horrible as it used to be. I think it still has less knockback. So when it comes to the first night, and if you want to kill some zombies, I still recommend going immediately to the wooden broadsword. Other things that have changed. So the NPCs are now different in minor ways. They actually have a happiness scale, so they can decide how much they like living where you sort of set them up to live. They basically look at the size of their room and who their neighbours are. So the amount of furnishings and stuff and the quality of furnishings doesn't seem to have any effect, but how big their room now has an effect. So putting them in a little tiny cell like I used to, not as advisable anymore. One of the advantages of keeping your villager happy is that if they have a store, they sell things, their prices will be different. They will give you more for things that you'd sell to them, and they will sell things to you for cheaper. The second advantage is if they are happy, then at some point they might give you a pylon. Now, pylons are like a quick transport system. Pylons are biome specific, so if you place a grassland biome in the grassland, you can actually teleport to that pylon from any other pylon. So if you have a snow biome pylon, for example, and a grassland one, you can teleport back and forth between those two biomes. Kind of convenient. Good little addition to the game. It does change the way I would normally do NPCs, because normally I would have all the NPCs within, a small radius of my home, if not actually in my home itself. I would normally have things like the truffle, I want to call it, and the jungle one, the witch doctor, in little custom-made biomes just to the left or to the right of my home, and then I put them in there. But now, NPCs have a preferred biome, and if they're not in their preferred biome, they won't be as happy as they would be otherwise. And they won't give you your pylons. And pylons require 2 NPCs near the pylon, which means in that specific biome. So that's going to change how I deal with NPCs. Don't really know exactly yet how it's all going to work out, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I'll be discovering all of this pretty much as we go along. I don't just know, because I haven't looked anything up on the wiki. Like I said, I've done nothing but read the basic patch notes, not even the detailed ones, because the detailed ones are apparently 40 pages long or something. I've just read the basic patch notes, and not even all of the basic patch notes. I've glanced through it. Mostly I've just looked at the pictures. Right, but there are some things that are the same. So the way we build our basic house, I'm going to keep that the same, because from what I've seen in the short, about an hour that I played in multiplayer, that works exactly the same. So we'll just do this. This will be our crafting room, and quite possibly storage room, at least early in the game. We'll move into another level for the storage room later. Didn't actually want to go down one there, but oh well, it's decided I'm going one down there, so let's go one down there. Hole for the door. Craft a workbench. Normally that would be the first achievement of the game, crafting a workbench, but I've played a little bit in multiplayer, as I've said, so I've already done that. Wooden door. So there's also new enemy types and things like that as well. I've seen balloon slimes. They're slimes that come in from the sky on balloons. There are... I don't know. There are other things. We'll probably see some of them either in this Let's Play or in the next one. Let's not get too excited and too ahead of ourselves. Oh! Oh, damn. That's not what I wanted to do. Another good quality of life improvement. You don't have to open doors anymore. So you don't have to worry about opening, closing, and shutting doors, and NPCs being annoying because they left a door open, blah, 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 blah. Doors just open and close if you walk at them. I still reflexively open the door. That's a force of habit that I will probably get out of soon. So yeah, that's really nice that you don't have to open the door anymore. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it was an extra button click that they've decided, for the purposes of the game, isn't entirely necessary. So this is, look, my mouse is all the way over here. Open, close, open, close. So yeah, that's really convenient. It's a really nice quality of life improvement. Glad they added that. Ah, see, I'm still in the habit of opening and closing the door, though. Door there, and that's the entry fixed. Again, I was trying to open and close the door there, and you don't have to. Alright, now what do we need? We need some background wall. It's probably a lot more than we need, but oh well. monsters can't spawn in here. Well, I mean, they still can because I haven't finished, but the idea is once I'm done, they can't spawn in here anymore. One of the other things I'm going to have to do is pay more attention to my render settings when I render these videos. I'm using DaVinci Resolve, which gives me a lot of control that I didn't have before when I was just using the Xbox or Microsoft Game Bar, whatever the hell it was called. And yeah, so there was limited control there. I certainly couldn't change the resolution settings, but it did render at a really nice high rate and high resolution. Now with DaVinci Resolve, I can control that, and I've been sort of working at a different, well, the same resolution, 1080p, but the bit rate has made a bit of a difference. So some of the, especially with Terraria, where we're talking about a pixel might make the difference between being able to understand what something is that you're looking at and not being able to understand what it is that you're looking at. So I'm going to have to really consider what sort of bit rate is going to be appropriate for rendering videos, Terraria videos specifically. Not as big of a deal in Monster Hunter World and in Far Cry 5, which are the other Let's Plays that I'm supposed to have going on at the moment, but again, I haven't played any of them in a long time. It's been almost 2 weeks. I think it has been 2 weeks. Wow, that's really bad. Anyway. But yeah, specifically for Terraria, we're going to have to look into that and maybe do something specific. Decide what works best, what looks best. I don't really know how YouTube goes about encoding and decoding videos and what difference that makes to things afterwards. But I have noticed that on the raw encoded files, before I make the upload, you can tell the difference. So we're going to have to look into that and do something about it. For now, maybe these will be a little less crisp as the actual gameplay that I'm seeing. But it shouldn't hurt too much unless we're looking at like really detailed things like, you know, what a particular boss looks like, or, you know, sometimes the motion gets a little bit scratchy looking. And that's all to do with how tiny details actually are in Terraria, because it's very much a pixel game. Oh, come on. As if he didn't die. Oh, well, anyway. Oh, I haven't moved them off the quick bar yet. Oh, I'll do that in a minute. So again, this is my standard base start, how I start every game of Terraria. Always the same. Always good, really reliable way of doing things. I'll probably later move the doors up to that level, but for now, you know, that level's fine. Right, do I have enough wood for armor? I should. 265, absolutely I do. So I'll make some basic wood armor. Give us that base defense. 3, good. Set bonus of 1, excellent. What else do we need? I need to make a house for this fool. Let's make some more torches while we have the opportunity. So I'm going to need to make a house, which means I need 1 door, 1 table, 1 chair. There's their first zombie, Brain Hat Zombie. So he's standard, we've seen him before, he's not new. I don't think I've seen any new zombie variants yet. The backgrounds are very different, they're much more detailed, and look, there's an eye whirling along in the background. Yeah, so like I said before, NPCs now give a damn about whether you've crammed them into a tiny little hovel or not. Oh dear. Now this guy got in here with me. Better not kill me, that would be really disappointing. Alright, we'll get rid of this and finish building this room. Yeah, so you don't want to put them in tiny little cubicles like I did before. You want to give them a bit of space. Doesn't have to be very big, but bigger than I was definitely doing before. I've seen some really nice houses, things that people have made online. Some people go all out. Still only need 1 light source, so you don't have to go crazy with that. They're not interested in the quality of the furnishings, they're just interested in that they have them and that they're not squashed. Sorry, a little tickle in my throat there. And there we go. That'll be suitable housing for the guide. And I could immediately start building the next bit of housing for who comes after the guide, the merchant. Whatever. But I'm not going to do that just yet. Wow, there's actually a lot of things here. I heard Fallen Stars and I want Fallen Stars. The graphics on Fallen Stars are changing. They look prettier. Not by a huge deal, but they are different. They don't look the same as they did before. Alright, can't really see anything because it's dark, but let's go. There's one. See? Now it's got this sort of aura. Kind of sparkly. So yeah, so that's a little minor improvement. I quite like that. And I'll definitely go down there later. See whether there's anything good in that little cavern. Oh, that is new. Some zombies hold torches. So that was nice of them. Couldn't always see them in the dark before, now you can. Okay, not all of them hold torches, so yeah, there's still some that you can't see. Alright, we're going to definitely be needing... Oh, there's another star over there. Let's go get that star. Yeah, again, not having to deal with the doors is fantastic. There's another star falling just off screen. Yeah, so the copper short sword is better than it used to be. Oh wow, I don't remember there being lightning before, or if there was, it certainly wasn't this good. Oh, and the music changed, it's all stormy and epic. Yeah. The Relogic that make this game really amazing. I mean, it's a 2D pixel game, and it's so good. It's so well done. It is really well developed. Everything's gone to that umpteenth degree. They've really put time and effort into everything that anyone could possibly want in a game of this style. There really is no comparison. I used to say Starbound was pretty equivalent and good as well, but honestly Starbound pales in comparison to this these days. Terraria is so much better, it's massive, it goes for a long time, it'll keep you entertained for days, weeks, months, without you having to, like, there's no entertaining yourself. The game will do the entertaining for you. It's really, really good, really well made, and I cannot stress enough how impressed I am with what Relogic has done here. Yes, and this stormy weather is very atmospheric and different. And man, we are getting a lot of fallen stars. Maybe they increased the rate of fallen stars. Don't know why, it's not like they were rare before. Maybe I'm just getting lucky and I'm getting a lot of them in this little section at the moment. That rain effect when actually underneath something, that was there before, but now with the new sort of weather pattern, looks better than it did. Oh dear, this is going to be a hard fight. Don't get hit at all if possible. Again, I don't know how good the short sword would have been here, but oh well, we're not using the short sword, we are using the broadsword. Right, these guys don't have as much knockback resistance as the rain hat zombies. Right, so, oh man, even more stars. What is going on? Okay, that'll do for now. Let's do some of the other quality of life. Do some of the other little bits and pieces on our base that needs to be done, so we'll light it up. Add that layer of platform. Go in here and craft our mana crystals, because why not? Sweet. What else can we do? Nothing much worth doing just yet. Right. There was something else I was going to talk about. I forgot what it was. Oh well, probably doesn't matter. Let's progress. To plant some trees. I just want to just heard another fallen star. I thought that was daylight, but it's not. That's just the end of that storm. Even more fallen stars. We'll grab them while we got them. Don't really need to be killing all these zombies, but I haven't had a drop yet either, so maybe I'll get lucky and get a shackle. Oh dear. Don't get caught between zombies, that's never good. Come on, shackle. Nope, just cash again. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, so not so different that you can't just drop in if you already knew what you were doing, but different enough to make it fresh and new and worth exploring again. I'm one of those people where in most games I end up restarting a billion times and never seeing the end of the games anyway, so it doesn't really hurt me to restart this. Maybe if you're watching my Let's Plays and really hoping to see the end of the game or something, that might disappoint you a little because, well, I've started again, so it's going to take time to actually get back there. But, you know, it's an enjoyable experience to restart this one. Due to the new additions, and, you know, it's just nice. It's worth it. It does feel like night is taking longer. That's 2 stars. I'm not going to miss that. That is 3 stars. I'm totally not going to miss that. We're going to get them because it's worth it. This is going to hurt, but I'm going to do it anyway. Oh wow, so many fallen stars in one night. That's fantastic. You'll see I should have a relatively large amount of mana by the time this first night is over. I don't have to deal with that one, so we won't. 7. Wow, I can already make another 2 mana crystals. Oh yes, I haven't mentioned the user interface improvements. Yeah, different looking health bar, different looking mana bar. There are options to change that. I don't actually know where. Probably in settings somewhere, so I haven't messed with it. This is the new default look. I like it. Looks good. Very subtle graphical improvement, but it's a graphical improvement, and I wouldn't say long overdue, because it's not that the old one was bad, but, you know, if you're going to make improvements to all the other sorts of graphics in the game, hell yeah, make an improvement to the UI as well. So according to the patch notes, there's over 1,000 new items. I very much doubt I've seen all the items that the game had to offer in the first place, even before this update. The chances of me managing to see all of them now, wow, that's 5,000 things in-game. That's a lot of in-game stuff. But yeah, so we'll hopefully see some new stuff. No promises, of course. This is a game based on randomness, so you can't really pick and choose what you're going to get. You get given what you're given. As we saw in the beginning of my previous Let's Play of Terraria, where we got stuck without weapons for a really, really, really long time. Well, not without weapons, but without any good weapons anyway. Oh yeah, there was ore down there that I wanted to get, and I could go get the stone, but I'm sure I can get stone somewhere better. I will go get that ore though. It's ore. Can't leave ore like underneath your base, even if it is the worst ore in the game. Actually, that's not true. Other than for the beginning magical staves, that is tin. Tin is pretty crap. I am going to make an executive decision, and I'm just going to leave that there. It'll just be a permanent little bit of tin forever. I really do want to go explore that little cave, because I'm hoping that we might get some new weapons and stuff immediately. A few other things I need to change. put my tools out of the hotbar because they don't need to be there. That should be there. That should be there. Will do. That should be there. Let's proceed. Ah, look, there's a chest already. So yes, it was absolutely worth checking out this cave. Could have just done this last night, but I couldn't actually see. Anything good? Already got a wooden boomerang. Sweet. Don't really need rope, that's not very useful. Anything else that's good? Some lead. Recall potions, that's fantastic. What a wonderful beginning chest. This is already so much better than my last Let's Play. Ah, 2 of them. Ah, climbing claws already as well. Ah, new music too. Haven't heard this one before. Yeah, very different game with all the new additions. New music, new graphics, new monsters, items, weapons. There's so much new stuff. It's like a whole new game, but not. More tin ore. Well, we'll grab this because we're here. Alright, we won't go too much further down, although also that is mithril? No, what's that again? Tungsten? Tungsten. Grab this little bit of tungsten because that's good. Oh, and a little bit of lead there too, so I think perhaps they actually raised the spawn percentages of a lot of things. I swear, like, that was so many stars to get that. Oh, there's more ore there. I have to go get that. Oh, look. Happy. I don't know why I'm happy. Is it just because it's a nice day? Must be because it's a nice day. Or possibly because this cave, I did notice that these caves have, like, flowery vines now. They didn't have that before either. Oh, man, there's all lead ore there too. Didn't see that at all. But yeah, small improvements make the biggest difference to a game that is this mature. It was already very good, but there were things that could be done. So you do those things and, well, people run out of things to complain about in your game. I'm sure people will still find things to complain about, and for all I know, they're not done. Like, Relogic might keep going on this game, I don't really know. I'd be amazed if they completely stopped. But we'll see. The game is extremely mature now, it's been out for a long time. I think it was 2012 was the original release. I might be wrong about that, but anyway, like, if that's right, that's 8 years. This game is 8 years old. That's pretty good. The amount of stuff that they've done, and they've never charged anything for any of the expansions. They just give it to you. It just comes out. Another game in a similar vein that does the same thing. Stardew Valley, very good for that as well. All the expansions for Stardew Valley, or expanded content for Stardew Valley, free. They just arrive. Stardew Valley even more impressive because that's basically built by one guy. I don't know how big Relogic's team is, but that is one guy that does Stardew Valley. It's really impressive. That's like up there with Notch and getting the original Minecraft app. Not the only game that's made by a single person that's really good. There was, I don't know whether anyone saw the new Xbox Series X demo-y video thing that they released. There was a lot of controversy with that because people were expecting to see gameplay, and there was very little gameplay. If any gameplay, it was more just in-game footage as opposed to actual gameplay. But there was a game in that looks really good that is made by one guy. And the weird thing about that game is that it's made in vertical slices rather than horizontal. What I mean by that is the guy actually makes a complete 100% gameplay experience. You play it from start to end. It only takes an hour to finish because that's all the game that is made. But that 1 hour, even though the game is, you know, in its equivalent of early access or whatever you want to call it, is pristine. It's already made to a really high, polished level. And I believe that for PC players, for example, there's like 2 or 3 hours available worth of game now. But it's all, again, like I said, amazingly polished. Really beautiful looking game. It's not really my cup of tea. I'm not that into first-person shooters that much. I like a first-person shooter with progression. I don't know whether his game is going to have any sort of progression or anything like that. And when I say progression, I don't just mean that you get further into the story. I mean, like, you know, you get skills or something, or, you know, upgrades and so on and so forth. Which is why I like Far Cry. But yeah, that game looked really gorgeous. I was very, very impressed. I haven't checked it out on Steam yet. Might do that at some point. But yeah, we'll see. Very, very impressive though. So there are games where very small development teams have produced amazing results. And Terraria is no exception, but Stardew Valley is amazing for that. Early Minecraft before Notch Go Team was spectacular, just unbelievable how hard that must have been to do. Oh, look, there's a balloon slime. So yeah, now they come in parachuting on balloons, and affected by the wind as well. Oh, that's another little thing. The way the trees bob in the wind, kind of cool. Not the most amazing or the most useful of features, but again, like I said, this is a very mature game, so those little things are what are going to make the most difference to your players. So do them because it's worth it. So there are still times when you want to open and close the doors manually. That was one of them. I can already make a lead anvil. That's good. Let's do that. Start making our bars. 2 tin bars. What a waste. 9 lead bars. It's not enough for anything good, I don't think. A couple of tungsten bars. What is that? Great. I think you could make that before. Can make a new short sword or broadsword. Not really worth it at the moment. Pickaxe would almost be worth it, but again, not really worth it at the moment. I'm definitely going to save those for iron armor. But this, that's so worth it. I mean, now I am right on the edge of being able to take on Eye of Cthulhu already. And we are minutes into the game. That was way too many torches. Oh, torches stack above 99 now. That's also good. Another thing is, I don't know whether you can rename your chests before, but you can rename your chests. I think you could rename your chests. Alright, now that I've got the inventory open, new additions. You can do emotes. Couldn't do that before. Interesting. And the bestiary. So anything that you've seen, it actually gives you a little bit of information. It gives you the picture. It tells you what biome it's found in. And say, for example, let's do this zombie. See, so I've killed a few of them. I don't know how much life he's got. I don't know how much knockback he takes, his attack damage, money, or any of those things. I know that he comes at night time. That's it. But now let's go to the raincoat zombie, because I killed a lot of them. Ah. No, I still haven't killed enough of them to actually learn anything. That, I believe, is a difficulty rating. So he's 2. And that's because he takes less knockback. What about regular zombie? No. Blue slime? No. Green slime. Ah, there we go, see. So I know how much life he's got. I know how much knockback he takes, how much damage he does, and how much defense he has, and what his money drop is. Now, later on also here, you will get what his possible and likely drops are. And then later on, in addition to that, you will even get the percentage chance of those drops once you've killed enough of them. So yeah, like really, really comprehensive bestiary that they didn't have before. Very nice. Again, small quality of life improvement, but I'm not complaining. That's what quality of life improvements are all about. Making things easier and better. Alright, let's get rid of this, that. Let's put in here that. We'll make that for placeables as well, why not? For now, until we get some more. Marigold, yeah, that's more of a potion ingredients, that sort of goes in there. I'll keep the grenades on me so the demolitionist can spawn when I get around to making a house for him. Get out of my house. Stop it. Yeah, so we didn't have that before, and now we'll have purple slime. Very cool. Really, really nice. Like I said, quality of life improvement. Totally worth it. Totally does the job. Let's make some more rooms because we have items that the demolitionists could be caused to spawn. Oh, so now they have this happiness thing that they didn't have before, so that they can actually tell you how much they like their room. Getting this place for myself, I greatly appreciate it. I'm quite fond of wandering through the forest. I like it here, so he's happy. Like, there's nothing I can do at the moment to increase his happiness. Well, we'll see. I don't know how he gets along with the merchant, so... Build another room. I don't know exactly how big the rooms have to be. I've been making them just a reasonable size. And that seems to do the job. This one's a bit smaller than the one next to it, so we'll see if the merchant or the demolitionist moves in here. Maybe they'll tell me they're unhappy and I'll know that, hey, it's got to be bigger than this. Don't know until you try, right? I haven't looked to see if the wikis started updating all their content yet. I mean, with 5,000 new items, it's going to take them a while to get all the new content in and really work things out. Gonna need to chop down more trees soon. Let's at least get the outline of the next 2 rooms set up. Right, that'll do for now. Put the doors on. Might as well put the furniture down while we're here. Ah, see, Gus the Merchant has arrived. Already. That was quick. That's what you like to see. Yeah, gotta love that enchanted boomerang this early in the game. That's fantastic. Yeah, I have a feeling that the default drop rates for things, well, not the drop rates, but the spawn rates for things like stars and chests, and the loot values, so the actual percentage chance that particular kinds of loot will appear in chests, I have a feeling that that has increased somewhat. Because both in this and the multiplayer that I tried for an hour with my friend, I did get better drops than I'm used to having this early in the game. Found some good stuff. I also found a summoning item in our multiplayer that, yeah, was pretty cool. It was in one of the large trees that have the little rooms underneath them. It was in that chest, and it was a summon for a little bird, a finch. And you actually get a little nest that sits on top of your head when you summon the finch, and he sits in it, and when he detects an enemy, he flies out of it and goes and attacks them. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but he does some damage. He can easily kill a zombie himself in like 4 or 5 hits, so there's that. And yeah, like, it was a summoning item before I'd even gotten beyond wood tier of armor. Like, I hadn't even gotten to ebonwood or cactus isn't actually better. We discovered that in our previous Let's Play, and it's still not better. I actually thought it was. But yeah, like, all that stuff remains the same, and I already had a summon item, which was amazing. I mean, normally you have to get to... What's the first summon I normally find? Like, unless you get lucky and you get the king slime, the first summon you normally find is the stuff that you get from the queen bee. Queen hornet, sorry. Queen bee? Queen hornet? I forget. But yeah, like, just new items make a difference, and that was just a random drop. Ah, there's a new random critter. There's owls now. Didn't have them before. Oh, and they make owl noises too. You can actually hear them hooting. It's another cool little addition. I'm sure I've seen more birds than normal. I think there's new birds I believe there are many, many, many new critters as well, but I haven't seen that many new critters. I've seen some. I'm sure they're out there. Supposedly there are new gold ones. I didn't know there were gold ones before. Or maybe I did. I think I've seen a gold bunny rabbit once. But yeah, really, really, really great to see more Terraria content. I hope this isn't the last, but I'd understand if it was. And yeah, like, you know, they didn't make any... I don't imagine they made much new money off this. How could they? I mean, everyone who's going to play Terraria probably already owns Terraria. Okay, that's not true. There are probably still some people who buy it new, and I believe it came out on some new consoles and things as well. But yeah, it's just... Oh, there you are. Forest Pylon. Okay, so you have to buy it. I didn't know you had to buy it, but there you go. So that's the new pylon. Has it got anything else new? I don't know. Doesn't really look like it, does it? Let's see what he says about happiness. This is nice. Lots of privacy to store my wares. I like the scenery in the forest. A good view attracts customers. Doesn't say anything about his neighbours. No idea. Guess we'll find out. At some point. Not just now, of course. But yeah. Little additions like that, as well as all the others to do with... like I said, the block replacement. I won't use it that much, but I know that when I do have the opportunity to use it, I'm going to be so glad it's there. I'm just going to be like, ah, this is so much better than having to break a block and place a block as two separate actions. I wonder if I can do that by planting acorns like that as well. Don't know. Let's go find out. Okay, let's demon eye quickly. Attempt to make it quickly. They always take a while with a boomerang. Especially if you miss. Yeah, and I reckon the money drop has increased as well. Let's see. No, okay, so you can't do it with that, but that's not hugely surprising. Alright, not a lot more I can do as it's night. Definitely go and collect that star that I just heard. I mean, look at that, I've already got 100 mana. That's a lot of mana. Whoops. Ah. And they dropped that torch, that's kind of nice. They didn't have to drop that torch as well, but they also dropped the torch, so that's pretty good. Yeah, 2 silver, 43 copper, that's a lot for 2 zombies. So I reckon they've increased the monetary drops as well. Yeah, the actual arrival of the fallen stars looks better too. It's very shiny and magical looking, more so than it was before. It is night and I shouldn't really be travelling this much at night, but I did want to see what was in here in case there was another chest, because I can use the storage space. I could make some chests. I'm pretty sure it's just tin, but yeah, I'm not going to make chests. I don't make chests. You find enough chests. Over the course of the game, they're wasting even crap materials that you're not that worried about in the early game. Why do it? You'll find chests. Just wait until you find them. Yeah, nothing good immediately here. Oh, there's one. That was worth it then. Ah, nothing really good in it though. It's alright, it's a third chest. I will go and get those arrows, even though I never use arrows. Can I get up there? No, I can't. I'll go up here then. Yeah, learning to parkour a little bit is also an important Terraria skill. I don't know whether that's easier on a controller. Analog sticks might make that part at least a little easier. Not sure. It's not that difficult on keyboard. There's a really good sort of momentum feeling, like it's real easy to judge how far you're going to go based on how long you left the button pressed down. I've played other 2D games where that was really problematic, like you didn't get a good feel for it, weren't really sure how far you were going to travel based on how much you pressed a key, which, you know, keyboards aren't analog. I don't know whether there are analog keyboards. For all I know, there is such a thing, but I've never seen one, I've never used one, and I don't know whether games like this would support it anyway. But yeah, never underestimate how good a good user experience can be improved, how much a good user experience can be improved by having good, well-balanced controls. And it's even more difficult for something like this, which is so cross-platform. I mean, you can play on so many different consoles and things these days. That, yeah, having the controls feel good on a mouse and keyboard, and still having the controls feel good on a controller, whether that be Xbox or Switch or, you know, whatever you happen to have or want to use or is available. That's really difficult. That's not an easy thing to do. And as per usual, again, I have to point out that Relogic really does a pretty wonderful job when it comes to that. Very impressive indeed. Yeah, for now, I think that's a good spot for that. Oops, what's a weapon? Is there go in there? Put them in there for now. Put the money in the ore chest for now. Go in there. Nice, and the demolitionists have arrived. Maybe it has to be bombs and not just grenades. Oh well. Alright, now we can go and explore a little bit more because we've got some recall potions and stuff as well. But yeah, it has taken me a while to get this far into the game already, so we'll probably be wrapping this episode up soon. But it is nice. It's a whole new Terraria experience with Journey's End. Not wholly new, but new enough to be fresh and fun, and, you know, might even steal some of the time I would otherwise have been putting into playing VR games. I do have the Oculus Link cable, or Oculus Link now via Link cable, so there is a very good chance that I will be adding some bits and pieces of VR gameplay. It is not, depends on the game whether it's got regular desktop mirroring. If it can be desktop mirrored, well then it's you know, simple enough to just start up OBS and capture that. So we'll see what we do. I don't know whether I'm going to bother or not. Again, like I said, I'm playing Half-Life Alyx, but I'm not very good at it because it's terrifying. And most of the other interesting games that I bought before my link cable arrived, and I bought them on the Quest store. So I can't actually capture them without desktop mirroring, or that is casting, not mirroring. Mirroring, it's a hard word to say. Especially in an Australian accent, because you don't do R's very well. But yeah, we'll see. So keep looking at the channel. If you like VR stuff, there will be some VR stuff. Whether that's actual Let's Plays or whether I just do the occasional video of things that I've been playing and how I've been going, or interesting bits and pieces of information to do with it. I don't think these are those sword holes that you get where the sword fell from the sky. Did need a bit of cactus because the cactus sword is better than the wooden broadsword. I think it's the same damage, but it has a longer reach and more knockback. Although it is slower as well, I believe. But you know, it's a good intro upgrade. Ah, see, now this would be really problematic. But now I have a boomerang. Not even phased. And new trees. Like this is a peach tree, I think. You can't really tell. And I haven't got any fruit, which was a bit disappointing. But yeah, sometimes trees will drop fruit now. They, from what I've seen, well, all the kinds of fruit, and I've only seen peaches and... What else did I see? Peach and something. They give you a 5-minute small buff to all stats. It's not a big buff, but it is a buff to your stats. And it's... I got it for doing nothing more than chopping down a tree that I had to chop down anyway. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Nice little worthwhile small addition. Anything good? Let's at least drop in and have a look, shall we? Yeah, nothing worthwhile. Tin, I could get that tin, but I'm not going to bother. Get back out of here. Go and have a look, because I wasn't paying attention, and I'm not sure whether we've got Crimson or Corruption. So let's go at least get far enough to find that out. And I've got claws, so we can climb this the easy way. There's a pool of water, I'm probably going down there then. That's too hard to make those jumps, so we'll make it easier and just do this. I thought it was a complete... Oh, it is a complete thoroughfare. Wasn't sure. Back to more desert. So there's more biomes as well. I've seen that there's a graveyard biome, and I'm not sure if that's a generated biome or whether that's to do with collecting all your gravestones and putting them in a graveyard. But I think it looks more like a generated biome because of, I don't know, that there were some bits and pieces in it that looked like it was generated. Alright, so it's corruption. Probably not get very far into the corruption with just an enchanted boomerang, but you know, we can go and have a look, see what kind of corruption generation we got. Maybe collect some of our first vile mushrooms. Yep, there we go, there's a couple of mushrooms already. I can't actually remember how many of these you need for the boss summoning item, but anyway. Can deal with that when the time comes. Oh dear. Got that really wrong. Oh. Ooh, that was lucky. Yeah, there's a lot of them at the moment. One good thing about boomerangs is that the knockback works in both directions. I believe I could already make a yo-yo as well. Because I did get a lot of cobwebs somewhere, I think. Or was that my multiplayer world? That might have been my multiplayer world. I might not have any cobwebs yet. And I think I'd have to make a loom or something to make string anyway, don't you? I don't remember. Alright, we're not actually progressing here, we're just standing around killing these things. Which, of course, has this advantage. We do need the rotten chunks eventually, but not right now we don't. So let's try and move forwards a little bit. So you kind of have to kill them because you need the space to be able to place placeables. And I'm not going to get a chance. Oh dear. Ha! Fooled you. Oh, that was close. Ah, he still got me. Oh, I could be harvesting some ebon wood for stuff as well, but whatever. Alright, this is getting a bit sketchy. I'm out of here. Alright, so that's a quick look at Terraria Journey's End. the very beginning of the game, how one gets started. Nothing really special happened, but hey, we did get started. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, guys. There will be, of course, more videos. This will be a whole new Let's Play series that I'm starting again from scratch, so this will be episode 1. And keep your eyes open for more in the future. So if you like this video, you can hit that like button. If you didn't like it, hit that dislike button, but I'd really appreciate if you hit the dislike button that you leave me a comment. Tell me why you didn't like the video. Maybe I can do something about it in the future. Hit that subscribe button if you'd like to be able to find the channel easier, and hit that bell icon if you'd like to get notifications when I upload more videos. Thanks guys, and we'll see you in the next one.